My warm greetings to one and all present here. I am Vijayashree, a 7th grader from Frontline New Gen International School. I am here to speak about one of the oldest science that exists till today is geometry. Now let's decode the art and magic of geometry. Geometry, we could say that geometry is a superhero of the math. Geometry helps us in the understanding the world around us. Before studying about the superhero of the math, now let me say about the table of contents. Introduction, history of geometry, father of geometry, plane and solid geometry, applications of geometry, geometry in daily life, interesting fact, and conclusion. Geometry is the study of math related to size, shapes, figures along with the properties of space. Moreover, it becomes a significant part of our daily life. The word geometry is derived from the Greek word geo means earth and metron means measurement. Therefore, geometry literally translates into Earth's measurement or Earth's geometry. Basically, geometry can be done by using compass, protractor and ruler, which helps us in the building a base for a future like constructing a building, making a drawing and mapping, etc. Now let me say about the history and proud of geometry. Nowadays, geometry becomes the high-level abstraction and complexity. Geometry has been subjected to the method of calculus and abstract algebra. Moreover, geometry is extremely ancient that has been carried through Babylonia, Greece, China and etc. Moreover, with the coming of Greeks, the geometry becomes more rigorous and emphasis on reasoning rather than on resulting. We believe geometry is used in pyramid constructions such as land surveying and etc. A pyramid construction is nothing but it includes 3 triangular base and a square base. Now let me say about the father of geometry. Euclid was a great Greek mathematician who lived in the city of Alexandria around 300 BC. He written a number of theorems and number theory and he proved that there are infinite primes. And he showed that the geometry which was alive in his time was true. And he is known as the father of geometry. Now let me say about the 2 basics geometry. They are plane geometry and solid geometry. A plane geometry deals with the flat surface which can done in a flat piece of paper. A plane geometry is also known as 2-dimensional geometry. The important terminologies on plane geometries are point, lines and angles. A point is the exact location or a place on a plane. A line is a straight which has no thickness and extends in both directions. It has 2 types, they are segment and ray. Segment is the line which has starting and ending point. And if a line has a starting point and it has no ending point and extends in one direction is known as ray. Now let me say about the types of angles. They are obtuse angle, right angle, acute angle and straight angle. Obtuse angle is more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree. Acute angle is a sharp angle which is in the degree between 0 to 90. Right angle is exact 90 degree and straight angle is exact 180 degree. These angles are measured using protractor. Solid geometry. If a figure has even higher, then it is known as solid or 3-dimensional geometry. It is a study of volume, properties and faces. It is called as solid geometry or 3-dimensional geometry. A 3-dimensional geometry is also known as solid geometry. The important attributes of 3-dimensional geometry are face, edge and vertex. Every individual solid has its own face. Every solid has more than one face. Cube and cuboid has 6 faces. Cone has a flat face and a curved face. Cylinder has 2 flat faces and a curved face. And sphere has a flat face. Edge. Edge acts as a line segment which joins 2 faces. Cube and cuboid has 12 edges. Cone has 1 edge. Cylinder has 2 edges and sphere has no edge. Vertex. Vertex are the corner points which joins 2 edges. Cube and cuboid has 8 vertex. Cone has 1 vertex and cylinder and sphere has no vertex as they are curved surface. Geometry in daily life. Geometry affects us in daily basis as they help us in building a house, creating an image, getting a candle, etc. The list is never ending as the geometry help is uplifting one's life. Geometry is all around us. Geometry is used in various daily life applications such as sculptures, engineering, robotics, astronomy, and space. Now let me say about some of the applications. Geometry in nature. One of the best example of geometry is seen in nature, as nature gives different geometrical shapes and patterns which is seen in flowers and spiderweb and etc. A walk in a garden will help us to discover more 2D and 3D shapes. The fruits and vegetable which is consumed by us comes from different shapes and different figures. One of the nature's finest is seen in beehives, as bees build their house in the shape of hexagon, which is seen only through the microscope. Geometry in art. Art requires geometry as they need a knowledge of different shapes and figures. Even the shapes of the frames are affected by the geometry. Geometry is a 3D figure that is displayed in 2D shape. Hence, geometry plays a huge role in art. Geometry in technicals. Geometry is used in technicals to create different designs and planning how to grab a robotic arm to video games. These use geometry in one or other way, as they need designing and calculation are essential for them to function properly. Geometry in architecture. Geometry is used in monuments and buildings. These monuments and buildings are based on geometry. It's believed that our Asian people invented geometry for constructing buildings and monuments. Nowadays, we could see buildings with different shapes and figures. These could done only with the applications of geometry. Geometry in sports. Even sports require the geometry as they need the sense of direction and angle to aim the ball to score a perfect goal. Even the sports equipments are affected by the geometry as they need geometrical shapes. Now let me say about the fun facts on geometry. A standard football or a scored ball which is made up of 32 panels, which is 12 hexagon and 20 pentagons. Ceiling fan. A typical ceiling fan which has 3 blades are at the degree of 180, which is at equal angle, which lose their net force becomes 0 and the air direction moves in everywhere. Sum of opposite faces of the dice are 7. For example, if one side shows 1 and other side will be 6 dots, their sum will be 7. The hour hand and minute hand are perpendicular each other at 44 times in a day. Thus, we travel to the conclusion. As our superheroes revealing the secret around us, geometry is a passport to discover the land of shapes. Geometry is not only a subject to be learned, it's a key to unlock the secrets of the interconnected and beautiful world. If you are seeing geometrical shapes anywhere, you remember that you are unlocking the interconnected and beautiful world. Thus, I conclude by saying that geometry is the humming of strings. There is a music in the spacing of the spheres by Pythagoras. Thank you.